Good evening and welcome to the final game of our PIHANA quintuple header. As we have two American rivals here as the Detroit Trappers stroll in to the Target IcePlex here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the Norse get ready to take on the Trappers. So we will have a face-off between Cody and Lackinen. And it is one away as Ovoskadachenko now for Detroit. Comes out of the zone. It'll be Yevgeny Kovalenko. He'll retreat. Get it cross-ice to Ovoskadachenko, who's got room. Ovoskadachenko bodied to the boards by Bjornsson. Bjornsson behind his net. The home opener here for the Norse. They come with their alternate orange uniforms for game number one. Ovoskadachenko to the slot. Rostalainen stopped in front. Bjornsson gets it now. He'll have it up to Jace McNaughton. McNaughton hit there by Kaba. And it'll be Mats Lackinen. Lackinen up to Kovalenko. Kovalenko tries to get it deep and it's blocked off by Konstantinov and he will trip. Yevgeny Kovalenko will be called for the trip on Dmitry Konstantinov. So Kovalenko, the goal scorer for the Trappers, will now head to the box. So it'll be Chris Rain in the dot for Minnesota, and he wins it away. Nikola, shot blocked in front. Nikola back with it. Rain tries to get to the front. Utkin, oh, and it just skips wide. So it is Osip Utkin again in net for the Detroit Trappers. After a bit of a disappointing performance, they show confidence in the young Russian. Konstantinov gets it up to Langenberg. Low-key Langenberg across the blue line. Chris Rain stopped in front, and Utkin will glove it. It'll be Tiketovic. Victor Tiketovic out of the zone. First one on it will be Nikola. Nikola back behind the net to Konstantinov. Konstantinov up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen loses it for a sec. Now Konstantinov gets it up, and now it's Ignatiev. Henrik Nikola. Minute gone here in the power play. To Mighty Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen back to Rain. Rain will turn. He'll get it to Konstantinov, and a shot goes wide. Might have been deflected in front. It'll come out of the zone. Henrik Nikola, first one on it for Minnesota. He's pressed to the boards there. He kicks it in. Chris Rain pressed to the boards there. And now Jacobson hit there. Langenberg cross. Albrechtsen. Shot gets stopped. So now Langenberg gets it to the point to Nikola. He'll lose it for a sec. Langenberg to Konstantinov. Down low. Albrechtsen can't get a shot away. And Markov will get it out with just 15 seconds left here in the power play. Nikola up to Cote. Cote to McNaughton. McNaughton will enter the zone. He'll go wide. Gets to the corner. Now has room to Nikola. Shot scores! Henrik Nikola. Set up by Serafin Cote. And it will be the defenseman, Henrik Nikola. Able to get free and fire it past Osip Utkin. Bjornsson now will lose it. Kaba to Cotier. McNaughton loses it. Ovoskadachenko with it now. They'll get it up ice. Detroit now with Jay Ward. Ward will stay wide. He gets bodied there. Konstantinov away with it. Up to Helm. Ward knocked back. It'll be Kaba with it. Lawrence Cabo for the Dayton Helm to Jay Ward. He'll lose it. Cotier. Down low, another penalty coming up on Detroit. Bure up to Bjornsson, over to Cotier. Konstantinov down low to Bure. Bure will get it knocked away by Kaba, and that will do it with a stoppage there. So we will head to another Minnesota power play. Is Jay Ward guilty this time? Jay Ward, yep, there with the slash on Bronislav Bure. So it will be the top unit out here. So they'll go for the face-off against Ristolainen. Cody wins it away. Bure to Bjornsson. Bjornsson picked off by Ovoskadachenko, and he will flip out. First one there is Kovachenko to Cody. Cody picked off there by Ristolainen. Kopi Ristolainen poked away at the blue line. Carolinen. Tapio Carolinen loses it. Bronislav Bure in with speed. Shot scores! So Bronislav Bure able to push Carolinen back. He loses the puck. And Bronislav Bure, with room and with speed, beats Osip Utkin. So Lakinen will knock it back, and Kaba away with it for Detroit. So Detroit quickly down 2-0 to the Norse here at home. Kovalenko tries to get out in front. He's knocked down. Lakinen shot. Ristolainen stop there. And another stop by Salo. Ristolainen to Kovalenko. Gabriel Cesaro. Gabriel will come in. Gabriel still with it. Cesaro put to the boards. And now Ramsey out in front. Cesaro just goes wide of Utkin. Yevgeny Kovalenko to Ristolainen. Ristolainen will cut in. Down low to Helm, and it's stopped by Salo. And he will hold there. 12:14 left here in the first. Kovac will take the draw against Helm. And Helm, Ovaskadachenko, bodied there, but he gets away. Reverse hit on Albrechtsen, and Albrechtsen takes the brunt of the damage there. Salo able to come up with the glove stop to shut down play. Helm against Kovac again. And Helm wins it. Thornburg in. Kaba taken away by Nikola on the shot. Ward up top to Helm. Ovaskadachenko, and so now power play will be coming here on the stop by Salo. So a Detroit power play interference going to be called against the goal scorer Nikola. So Nikola with the interference there on Ward will send Detroit to the power play. And Gavrilchuk will win it away from Helm and flip it out. Benny Brock, first one on it for Detroit. Helm sticked away by Albrechtsen. Benny Brock up for Detroit to Toivonen. Toivonen loses it to Gavrilchuk, and he will get it out of the zone. Jacobson now with it behind the net. Gets it up to Toivonen. Toivonen across the line. Ward. Helm scores! So Dayton Helm able to deke Salo, get to his backhand and flip it right by the Finnish goaltender. So Dayton Helm, another power play goal. He has been a power play merchant of sorts here in the early season for the Trappers. Face-off won by Roman Horn. Kaba bodied there. So the penalty comes back to bite Minnesota, as it is now a 2-1 game here at the Target IcePlex. Bjornsson tries to get it, but now Markov for Detroit. He tries to center, and Kovac will pick it off. Chris Rain with room. Rain put to the corner by Kaba. And Kusti Toivonen able to get it away. Now Albrechtsen to Kaba. Chris Rain finally with control, and he's bodied there by Toivonen. They battle forward in the corner, continue there. Rain now taken away by Ovaskadachenko, and he will get free. Up to Roman Horn. Horn stops, gets it to the middle. Ovaskadachenko down to Markov. Markov up to Kovalenko in the slot, and it's deflected up and over the glass. So Cody will face off against Lakinen. And Minnesota able to take it away. McNaughton to Bure. Bure blocked off there. Kovalenko. Kovalenko coming up. Gets it to Carolinen, to Ristolainen. Ristolainen loses it to Cote. And it'll leave Martin Sikora away with it. Jace McNaughton. Blocked off. And Lakinen will take it away from McNaughton. He'll go behind his own net to Carolinen. Up to Kedovich. To Kovalenko. Yevgeny Kovalenko. Martin Sikora now up to Bronislav Bure. Bure with room. 2-on-1 shot stopped. And Carolina on it there, but now Kovachenko will have it. Kovachenko bodied there by Caroline behind the net. McNaughton tries to center, can't get it through. Sikora blocked away. Bure with the shot, blocked away by Utkin. Bure now with it up top. McNaughton tries to go short side, and it's stopped by Utkin. Bure along the half wall. It'll be taken away. Put cross ice. Lackinen blocked off there. Bjornsson will have it for Minnesota. Up to Kovachenko. To Langenberg. Over to Tuominen. Tuominen to Nikola. Nikola to Bjornsson. Bjornsson to Langenberg. Loki Langenberg will get it in. Thornburg on it for Detroit. Lackinen tries to flip it down, and Nikola will be the first one on it for Minnesota. He'll flip it behind his own net to Bjornsson. Bjornsson over to Gavrachuk. 15 minutes gone here in the first period. Gavrachuk shot, and it's stopped by Utkin. Gavrachuk against Helm. Helm will win it away. Valentin Jacobson turns. Knocked back, but it'll be Brock on it first. Jay Ward picked off by Cesaro. Cesaro up to Gavrachuk. Gavrachuk to Cesaro. Cesaro shots get blocked. Brock will funnel it on net to Utkin, and he will hold it there. So Kovac will float in for the draw against Roman Horn. And Roman Horn will win it back to Lawrence Kaba. He's pressed to the boards there. Kovac up with it, loses it. Konstantinov tries to gain control, but Toivonen takes it away. Kristi Toivonen will stop, retreat, get it cross-ice to Ovaskadchenko, down low to Markov. Toivonen in the slot, gets it out of there quick. Ovaskadchenko slap shot, deflected, goes way wide. Kaba down low to Markov on his backhand. Gets to his front hand, but can't get the shot away. Toivonen knocked off. Markov puts it on net, and Salo will hold it there. Kovac will float in for the faceoff against Anthony Martelli. So it'll be this fourth line. And that one is deflected up and out of play as Ovaskadchenko walked down into the slot. Kovac again against Martelli. Second line against fourth line. Martelli wins it back. Kaba to Ovaskadchenko. Slap shot blocked down in front. Martelli now with room. It's blocked again. Martelli now stopped there by Salo, and he will hold. So good shot blocking, but unable to really clear the zone as Martelli gets a few shots on net, and Salo will hold that one. So as I said before, Martelli against Kovac again. 2:20 left here in the first. Martelli wins it back. Ovaskadchenko hit there. Ignatov to Kaba. Shot. Stop there. And Konstantinov will get control and get it up to Chris Rain. Chris Rain will float wide. Cuts in now. Shot gets blocked away. Rain the first one on in the corner, but he's bumped off there by Kaba. Ovaskadchenko for Detroit. Up to Martelli. Martelli cross ice to Coy. Coy gets it poked away. It'll be Chris Rain up with it. Chris Rain to the blue line and in. First one on it is Benny Brock there in the corner. Albrechtsen and Gavrachuk fight there with Kaba. Kaba comes free with it for Detroit. Up to Dayton Helm, the goal scorer for Detroit. 40 seconds left here in the first period. Dayton Helm to the center, knocked off. Gavrachuk will get it away to Gabriel Cesaro. Cesaro to the blue line. Gets it to the red line. Or excuse me, gets it to the dots and can't get it through. Now Cesaro, another chance, and it goes just wide. Utkin might have got a piece of it with the glove. Either way, it's kept out of the net. 3 seconds left here. Thornburg in. Shot blocked. Another shot, and it's sticked away by Salo. And that is going to do it for an exciting first period here at the Target IcePlex, the home opener for the Minnesota Norse as they welcome in the Detroit Trappers. A good start for Minnesota with 2 goals right off the bat. And they give up a power play goal to the Trappers. So that is it for one period. A very evenly matched game so far. We'll be right back with you for the start of the second period. All right, we are back for action between the Norse and the Trappers here. Second period about to get underway, and here we are. Mats Lackinen for Detroit wins the face-off. Gets it up to Ristolainen. He bodies Bure there at the blue line. Gets it deep with Konstantinov. First one on it for Minnesota. It'll come across to Bjornsson. Bjornsson will skate free up to Cody. Cody to Bure in the slot. He'll cut wide now. Looking to create some space, and Ristolainen sticks it away. Bure battles for it there. It comes free. Cotier scores! So it ends up on the stick, I believe, of Kovalenko for Detroit. He turns it over. And Serafin Cotier, just over a minute in, is able to put one past Osip Butkin. So a 3-1 lead now for Minnesota in the early stages of the second period. Ristolainen will flip it down deep. Konstantinov, first one for it for Minnesota. Konstantinov stops, puts on the brakes for a second, then gets going again. Bure loses it to Kovalenko. Kaba over to Ovaskadichenko. Ovaskadichenko up to Lackinen. Lackinen to Ristolainen. Ristolainen on his backhand can't get the shot away as Bure with those wheels flies in. McNaughton now across the blue line. He'll lose it. McNaughton. Shot, stop, and then they score! It is Matty Albrechtsen on the rebound there. McNaughton gets the shot on net. Utkin can't control the rebound, and Matty Albrechtsen pounds it past him to make it a 4-1 lead. Thomas Bjornsson will now flip it in. It'll be Kaba, first one on it for Detroit. He'll go for a skate. Tries to get it out, and he'll get up to Thornburg, up to Ward. Jay Ward wide to Helm. Helm in, shot stopped. They can't get the rebound to go. Helm down in the slot area. He's finally back to his feet and now into action. Thornburg in the corner, gets it high to Kaba. Kaba bodied there. Chris Rain poked away. Helm with an opportunity. Shot stopped by Salo. And then Konstantinov will get it up to Bjornsson. Over to Kovac. Kovac up the far boards. He's bodied there by Benny Brock. Dayton Helm will turn. He's hit there by Kovac. Kovac pressed along the boards. Rain and Helm come in for support for each side. Helm will come away with it. Helm skating wide. Tries to get it up ice, and he's hit by Albrechtsen. Rain to Kovac. Now Albrechtsen with room. It's Sikora. Shot stopped by Utkin, and Brock will clear it away from danger. Chris Rain looks like he's skating gingerly to the bench. He's out of commission. Helm up top to Markov. Toivonen blocked away by Nikola. Nikola will kick it up the boards. They'll get to Brock. Markov in front. Oh, and the backhand is gloved by Eddie Salo. Yep, Chris Rain hit to the boards there by Jacobson. Took him quite a while to even get just back to his skates. And he, headed down the tunnel. Looks like he will be done for the game tonight. So Kovachenko will win the draw. Horn now with it. He'll get it up to Carolinen. Carolinen in the slot. Shot. Goes up and over the net. Markov pressed to the boards there by Kovachenko. They shot, score! It is Roman Horn. Set up by Kusti Toivonen. Toivonen able to skate out from behind the net. With a good setup there to Roman Horn. So now a 3-2 game. 4-2. Detroit finding themselves back in it. Lackinen, shot gets blocked away, and Sikora will clear it out of the slot. Langenberg to Kovachenko. Kovachenko up to Tuominen. Davari Tuominen in. Shot gloved by Utkin. So Kovachenko now will float in. He'll face Lackinen in the faceoff dot. Kovachenko wins it away. It's Nikola to Langenberg. Tuominen down low, stopped. Tiketovic will get it away from danger. Ristolainen stops. Turns. Lackinen, and a pad stop there by Salo. Tuominen to Kovachenko. He gets it sticked away for a sec, but keeps control. Carolina now on for it for Detroit. 12:20 left here in the second period. It'll be Kovalenko. Yevgeny Kovalenko stops. Ristolainen can't get the shot. on net. Konstantinov will pick that one off. Get it up to Bronislav Bure. He speeds in along the near boards. Gets to the corner. Now out in front, Langenberg can't get the shot through Rutkin. He tries to go short side right up over the glove, and he can't beat him. So just to recap on the action we've had today, we've had a quintuple header. This is the final game here in Minnesota. We had a new record as the Calgary Stallions hang 11 on the Ottawa Mounties. That means Ottawa in their last 2 games has given up a total of 21 goals. Yeah, not good. Not going to win many games doing that. Here, even in a new league like the PIHANA. Puck put on net and now steered away. Detroit with it down low. Markov can't get it through Salo. Markov out front to Horn. Horn in the slot. Shot gets knocked away. Konstantinov. And then our second game, Montreal. Still the lone undefeated team in the PIHANA as they won 8-3 over visiting Edmonton. And then 2 home teams with 5-4 victories as New York knocked off Boston and then Toronto over Chicago, both with a score of 5-4 for the home teams. And this is the final game here. Hope you enjoyed the quintuple header as we've had tonight. 2 pretty exciting games, these last 2, and then 2 pretty historic performances as now Montreal goes to 4-0 on the season. See who can be the one to end their undefeated season. Now back to action here. Martelli to Ignatov. Shot. Blocked away shot. Oh, and it rings off the post by Coy. Ignatov down low. Gets it to Coy again, and he's stopped this time by Salo. Francis Coy down low, and it's picked off. Wow, good action here by this 4th line for Detroit. Cesaro up with it for Minnesota. He'll get free of Cobbin. Breaks his stick on the slap shot. So Dayton Helm will flip it up and out of play. So they had an advantage there a little bit, at least for Detroit. And they're unable to do anything with it as he flips it up and over the boards. Kovac will float in against Helm. Helm wins it away. Nikola now for Minnesota. Nikola gets it sticked away, and Ka will be the first one on it for Detroit. Kaba poked away in front of his own net, and Utkin will just hold instead of clearing it away into danger. Kovac out there against Helm. And there's one away. Obuskadachenko will have it for Detroit. Helm over to Ward. Ward poked there in front. Helm shot stopped. Arn Sikora now with it behind his own net. He'll lose it to Thornburg. Thornburg up to Kaba. Kaba shot blocked away by Salo. Jay Ward pressed to the boards by Nikola. He'll try to clear it out of the slot. Can't get it out of the zone though. Detroit with good pressure. Thornburg up to Ward. He'll get it, and they score! It is Dayton Helm again! Set up by Jay Ward. So good forechecking, good pressure by the Trappers. And that now puts them down a goal here in Minnesota. There's one away by Minnesota. Langenberg slashed on the play, and they will touch up there by Lackinen. So yes, in on the hands is Kovalenko. So he will head to the box for the 2nd time tonight for the Trappers. Confused about the call. I'm not sure what he could be confused about. Pretty obvious there up on Langenberg. So this top power play unit, Cody Burry McNaughton, along with Kovachenko and Bjornsson, will get ready for Minnesota, see if they can give themselves a 2-goal lead, and they can! It is tipped in front by Cody. So Bjornsson puts it on net, and Serafin Cody. Bronislav Bure will also pick up an assist on the play. So just like that, it is now back to a 5-3 and a 2-goal game. Cody wins it back to Bjornsson. Konstantinov up to Cody. Cody into the slot. Down low. Bure has it for a sec. McNaughton can't get a shot away, but Bure. Oh, and a good cross-ice pass picked off by Kaba as he was looking for Cody to get that hat trick. Ristolainen in front, and it's sticked away. Kovalenko to Lackinen. Kovalenko shot, score! You have any Kovalenko able to come right back and get it back to a 1-goal game. So he takes the penalty and makes up for it right back. Had Salo looking like a soccer goalie diving out there. Gets it by the goaltender. McNaughton will come in for Minnesota. Glove stop by Utkin. So just under 5 minutes left here in the second period. Another good game we've had so far here in Minnesota. Mats Lackinen wins the faceoff away to Kaba. Kaba will stop, get it up to Obuskadachenko, up to Ristolainen. Ristolainen skating wide to Kovalenko down low. Lackinen can't get the shot away. It goes wide. Konstantinov to Bjornsson. Bjornsson to Bure. Bure up to McNaughton. McNaughton sticked away. Ode, the first one on it, and another penalty for Kovalenko. He's caught for a trip this time. Oh no, excuse me, it's Obuskadachenko. I could have swore Kovalenko was in on the play, but they're going to call it on Obuskadachenko. Yep, tripping Cody right there. I guess I thought it was Kovalenko on the other side slashing him or something. But a trip nonetheless. So Ramsey out there to take the face off. He will lose it. Goes on net to Utkin and he will hold. Ricky Ramsey out there in place of the injured Chris Rain for Minnesota. Barry Tumanen against Markov. He'll win it away. It'll be Ignatov and he will get it out. So under 4 minutes now here. Left in the third. Kovachenko up to Langenberg. Langenberg will hold. Get it into the zone. Ignatov will take it away up to Brock. Markov will get it out. Puck grab behind his own net. Bjornsson. Bjornsson up the near boards. Gets it to Langenberg. Up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen enters his own slap shot. Sticked aside by Utkin. Tumanen now. Down low to Kovachenko. He tries the center and it's picked off by Markov. Markov to Taran Ignatov. Kovachenko on it for Minnesota. Minute gone here on the power play. Tumanen cutting in. 2-on-1 here. Langenberg down low and they score. It is Matty Albrechtsen. So they end up actually with about a 3-on-1 there. And the Trappers just leaving poor Osip Utkin out to dry on that goal. Langenberg will get the primary assist and Ivari Tumanen with the second assist there. So a good power play for Minnesota. Good rush play there. And it gives them the 2-goal lead right back. Jay Ward up to Dayton Helm. Helm bodied there by Martin Sikora. Sikora will turn. Get it to Albrechtsen looking for a hat trick tonight. Albrechtsen bodied there. Dayton Helm will float it in. Nicola the first one on it. Rest of the boards there by Ward. He'll kick it up the boards. Martin Sikora is D partner up with it. 2 minutes left here in the third. Or excuse me, in the second. Sikora stopped by Utkin. Obuskadachenko will get it away from the slot. Stuart Thornburg on the rush here for Detroit. He's hit there by Nicola. And McNaughton and Thornburg fight for it in the corner. Kovalenko trying to come away with it. And he will. Thornburg shot. Gloved by Salo and it'll go over the net. Kovac now with Burry. They have another 2-on-1. Burry tries to get it across to Kovac and he can't slide it through. Obuskadachenko bodies him there. Kovac behind the net. McNaughton out in front. Burry in the slot down low to McNaughton. They can't get it through Utkin. Obuskadachenko blowing up McNaughton there. Obuskadachenko now will get it ahead to Lackinen. Lackinen knocked back. Kovac first one on it. He'll get it across to Sikora. Martin Sikora up to Jace McNaughton. McNaughton sticked away. It'll be Mats Lackinen, and that will end the second period of action here. So a lot of goal scoring here in the second, as they have made it a 6-4 game for the Minnesota Norse. And you gotta wonder, if you're a Trappers fan, do they go away from Utkin to start the third period, or do they stay with the young Russian? Either way, we are going to take a 10-second break and be right back with you for the start of the third period. All right, we are right back here. Back to the action in Minnesota. The Trappers on the road here facing the Minnesota Norse. And Minnesota leading 6-4 entering the third period. Lackinen wins it back. Obuskadachenko now up to Ristolainen. Ristolainen gets it poked away. Obuskadachenko cutting in. Kaba shot. Blocked away by Eddie Salo in net for Minnesota. And the trip there, and Obuskadachenko will touch up as we get a trip here. Jakobi Ristolainen Guilty of the trip in the offensive zone. As Bjornsson was coming away with it, he gets a stick in and trips up Bjornsson there. So Ramsey will take the face-off as he's taking the role of the center man for this second unit. It'll be Tapio Carolina now away with it for Detroit. It's up to Markov. Markov will get it deep. Kovachenko tries to get out. Toivonen picks it off. He'll flip it down low. Kovachenko able to intercept. Ramsey cross ice to Langenberg. Langenberg stops, puts on the brake, turns back. Ramsey to Bjornsson to Langenberg, stick to side. And it'll be Carolina the first one on it. Carolina will turn. Get it up to Markov. Markov will float it deep. Thomas Bjornsson on it. Up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen can't get it through the line. Ramsey in front. Oh, and Albrechtsen is stopped by Utkin. A good centering pass by Ricky Ramsey there. Unable to get through. Third period continues here. 18:38 left in the final frame. Minnesota leading 6-4 on Detroit. Benny Brock will have it for the Trappers. Brock over to Kaba. Kaba tries to get it deep and can't quite do it. It'll be Bure now with speed. Stick checked away. And another trip here coming against the Trappers. Cody. And it'll be touched up there by Lakanen as Salo had just entered the bench area. Trip there right on Bure as he was battling at the blue line. So a 5-on-3 between Minnesota here in Detroit. Minnesota on the 5-on-3. Konstantinov up to Cody. Cody across the blue line. Bure into the slot to Cody. Shot! Blockered away by Utkin. And it'll be Henrik Nikola up high to Konstantinov. Down low to Cotier. Cotier, oh, and passes it across to McNaughton. And he can't put it through. Ramsey against Markov at the faceoff. Ramsey wins it away. Kovachenko shot blocked away. Markov will get it away. 5 seconds left here on the 5-on-3. Langenberg across the red line. Enters the zone. Bump there by Brock. Puck is loose. Benny Brock will now have it. So minute 5 left here on the man advantage for Minnesota. Kovachenko behind the net. Bodied there by Ristolainen. It'll come out front to Bjornsson. Bjornsson up to Langenberg. He loses it for a sec, but gets control. Ramsey wide. Hit there by Ovaskadachenko. Ovaskadachenko up to Kaba. Kaba probing for room. Gets it to Ristolainen. Picked off by Ramsey. Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen in the corner. Behind the net. Looking for room. Tries to get a shot away and it's stopped by Utkin. Albrechtsen back out in front. Stopped. Pops up in the air and Ramsey first one on it for Minnesota. He'll try to come out front. Gets it to Langenberg. Langenberg loses it in the slot areas. Toivonen comes away with it. Back to Ovaskadachenko. They'll get it up to Kaba. Ristolainen. Langenberg. As now the power play is over. Kaba now with it. And we will have an offsides here. Excuse me. Cody will take the face off here. And there's one back for Minnesota. Nikola tripped up there, so another Detroit penalty. He will get upended by Dayton Helm. He's had a great game here so far, but a mistake there nonetheless. He trips up Henrik Nikola. Cody will face off against Markov. Puck gets knocked back and it'll come to the stick of Markov. Ignatov. Approaching 5 minutes gone here in the third. Markov shot goes wide. Obuskadachenko. Markov. Loses the puck. Ignatov. We'll get it to Obuskadachenko. Walks down the slot. Shot. Obuskadachenko is stopped by Salo. Cody. With room. Tries to get it through. McNaughton. Shot. Stopped. And Bure scores! Looked like Utkin was going to be able to get his glove on that, but Bure flips it right by the Russian goaltender. So those 3 straight penalties come back to bite the Trappers. They now find themselves trailing by 3 with 15 minutes left here. One by Detroit. Benny Brock will try to flip it down. Martin Sikora, the first one on it for Minnesota. It'll be McNaughton over to Bure. Bure enters. Cody gets it sticked away. Benny Brock up to Markov. Markov loses it for a second. Now it gets over to Mikkola for Minnesota. Mikkola will stop and turn in his own zone. Picked off there. Ward up high to Jacobson. Jacobson can't get the shot away. Ward down low. Stopped. Markov with an opportunity, and Salo will keep play going. Sikora cuts to the middle. Gets it wide to Kovac. Kovac enters the zone. Kovac picked off by Brock. Brock bodied there by Kovac. Ward and Bure battle for it there along the benches. Kovac to McNaughton. Bure behind the net. Bodied there. And it'll be Bure out front. Shot stop there. Kovalenko will get it free. Taking the helm over to Ristolainen. Ristolainen will stop. Stop there. Albrechtsen to the red line. Picked off by Ristolainen. It'll be Henrik Nikola now with it. Albrechtsen. Stop there. Carolinen. Carolinen up to Ristolainen. Ristolainen bodied there by Bjornsson. Kovac away with it. Kovac up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen will flip it down. First one on it is Carolinen. Carolinen to Ristolainen. Ristolainen up to Kovalenko. To Ristolainen. Shot knocked away. Albrechtsen up to Kovachenko. Kovachenko will flip in. First one on it is Jacobson. They fight for it there. Comes away. And now Langenberg out in front. Langenberg shot off the post, I believe. Tuominen will try to kick it to the corner. Kovalenko, first one on it for Detroit. Approaching the halfway mark here, the third period. Ristolainen in the corner, bodied there by Konstantinov, and another tripping penalty. This one will come to Lackinen. Easy tripping call there on Bjornsson. And face off one. Still battled for it there. Bure, ooh, and a glove stop by Utkin. He'll keep play going. McNaughton up to Konstantinov. Over to Nikola. Picked off. Kaba away with it for Detroit. He'll cross the red line, get it to Helm. Helm tries to get it deep, but it's poked off. And that's going to be a penalty on Cody. A slash. So 4-on-4 here, as Ward will take on Kovachenko in the face-off dot. One away by Kovachenko. Sikora sticked away by Ward. Ward tries to get to the front of the net. Can't quite get through Henrik Nikola. Goes on Kovachenko. Flips it down. Obuskadachenko bodied there by Bure. And it'll come free. Lawrence Kaba. Up to Jay Ward. Ward. And Nikola will poke it away. 40 seconds left here on the 4-on-4. And Detroit will get a short abbreviated power play. Bure over to Kovachenko. Kovachenko stopped there by Kaba. Ristolainen on it for Detroit. Ward will lose it. Going to be a penalty there on Bure. They're going to call a slash. And Bure will touch up, and that will be a slash. So Detroit will have a bit of a 4-on-3, and then they will go right into a 5-on-3. As Bronislav Bure guilty there. So yes, a 4-on-3 for another 23 seconds. Knock back Ramakers to Kovalenko. Oh, and Gavrachuk, he is slashed there. So right as they were going on the 5-on-3, if any, Kovalenko another penalty for the young Ukrainian. Roman Horn against Petya Gavrachuk. And Gavrachuk will win it away. Goes across to Konstantinov and it's picked off by Helm. So now 4-on-3 here. Ramakers will try to get it up the boards. Konstantinov met there. Konstantinov will get it out of the zone. 4-on-4 for a minute and a half. Toivonen to Helm over to Brock. Brock to Helm. Brock down low. Oh, and it just goes wide. Might have beat Salo there, but it can't get it on net. Toivonen walks down and he's bodied off there. Peter Ramakers with room. 2-on-2. Ramakers. Oh, it's sticked away by Horn. Dayton Helm will get it low. Kovachenko bodied there by Roman Horn. Horn will try to come free. Kovachenko away. Sent back behind his own net. Will battle for it in the corner. Kick to the other corner to Ramakers. And so just a 5-second power play and it is over there. Kovalenko sticks it away from Burry right there at the line. Langenberg gloved by Utkin. So we are at 5:45 left here in the third. Minnesota leading 7-4. Kovac against Helm in the dot. Excuse me, Lackinen. Lackinen wins it away. Brock over to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen to Lang. Oh, and Langenberg tries to beat Utkin on the glove side, and Utkin wise to that. Able to snatch it. Kovac against Lackinen. And Lackinen wins it away. Jacobson with it. Jacobson behind to Brock. Brock up with it. Gets away from action. Kovalenko. 5 minutes now left here in the third. Kovalenko wide. Stops short of the corner. Tries to get it low and Kovac picks it off. Langenberg. Langenberg tries to get it deep and can't get it through. It'll be Lackinen behind his own net. Lackinen up to Kovalenko. Kovalenko over to Ristolainen. Ristolainen goes wide. Stick check there. Sikora on it for Minnesota. Up to Langenberg. Langenberg with room. Wide of Ovaskadachenko. Gets to the corner. He'll get it to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen knocked off there by, and Ignatov will take it off. Lackinen to Coy. Francis Coy down low and stick to side by Salo. Good poke check there to interrupt the pass. Jacobson down low to Coy. Sikora picks it off. Kovac away with it to Nikola. They'll get it out of the zone to McNaughton. He's crunched there. They battle for it as it was stuck underneath McNaughton. Ignatov to Ovaskadachenko to Jacobson to Martelli. Martelli loses it. Ignatov stopped by Salo and it's poked to the corner. McNaughton bodied there by Ignatov. McNaughton will try to come free and he'll get it out of the zone. Bure thundered there by Valentin Jacobson. Coy entering the play. Francis Coy. Cut shot goes wide. Nikola on it first. It'll be Bronislav Bure. He'll try to turn. Martelli. Shot gets knocked away. Serafin Cody. Cody hit there. Markov bumped again. McNaughton now with it. It'll be Coy and Markov. Cody. Bure can't get it through Utkin. Now out in front. And Utkin makes another stop. So 55 seconds left here as Minnesota looks like they are going to move to the top of the America division with the New York Empire at 2-1. Gavrachuk to Bjornsson. Cesaro in the slot. Pad stopped by Utkin, and he'll hold there. 51 seconds left. Gavrachuk against Horn. Gavrachuk wins it back. Konstantinov. Bjornsson. Bjornsson poked away for a sec, but gets it low. Ramsey picked off there. Markov. And now Ramsey back with it. Gavrachuk. Oh, and a good toe save there by Utkin. Flashes that right leg out and gets it away. Toivonen in. Toivonen shot. Stopped by Salo. Salo will keep play going with just 30 seconds left. Minnesota looking to run out the clock. Bodied there. Owens Kaba to Toivonen. Shots deflected wide by Konstantinov. Cesaro to Ramsey. Ramsey with just 15 seconds left tries to get the shot away, and Kaba will take it away. Mats Laakkonen. Last opportunity, and they will be offside for Detroit, so it'll come back outside the zone. Petya Gavelchuk also hurt late here in the game. So Nurzan Kovachenko against Laakkonen. Laakkonen wins it back all the way to his own zone as it goes wide of everybody. Kovalenko tries to get it up ice to Laakkonen. Last opportunity. He'll get bumped off the puck. And Minnesota, their home opener is a success. They come away with a 7-4 victory over the Detroit Trappers. With this win and this score, that also means Minnesota is the only American team with a plus goal differential, knocking off Detroit by 3 goals, putting them as the only team with a positive goal differential on the American side of things. So right now, the Canadian teams have felt like they've somewhat dominated the Americans thus far. Canadians will love to hear that, their national sport and everything, but we will see as the season progresses and continues how things unfold between the Americans and the Canadians. Either way, the final here from Minnesota, the Norse 7, Trappers 4. We'll be right back with you for our final post-game coverage of our quintuple header. All right, we are back here in Minnesota. As the Minnesota Norse come up with a 7-4 victory over the Detroit Trappers. Take a look at the team stats from tonight. Minnesota 37 shots on net to Detroit's 31. 34 hits for Detroit to Minnesota's 33. Faceoffs pretty even. 25 won by Detroit, 24 to Minnesota. And then the penalties. Detroit taking 9 penalties, giving up 9 power plays. And Minnesota goes 4 of 9. So again, Minnesota without those power plays becomes a much different game. Feels like a much more evenly played game than a 7-4 game. But when you give up 9 power play opportunities, you're bound to give up some goals, especially on the power play. Detroit themselves able to come up with 1 of 3 on the power play. So now we will head to the team stats. First up, Minnesota. So we take a look. Bronislav Burry and Serafin Koda, your top 2, and then even Jason McNaughton on that top line with 4 points and then 3 points for McNaughton. Albrechtsen 2 points as well with 2 goals. Nikola with a goal. Bjornsson, Langenberg, and Tumanen all with assists. So Dmitry Konstantinov unable to get a point. Sikora, Kovac, Novachenko. Rain, who was injured early, only played 10 minutes. And then that fourth line, Gavrilchuk, Cesaro, and Ramsey. And then also Ramaker's on that third D pair, unable to get anything to go tonight. So a good performance from Minnesota, especially offensively. I think you'd like to see that depth a little bit more, but when your top line is doing what their top line did tonight, you're not really going to complain much, as Burry, Cody, and McNaughton combined for 11 points between them. And then Albrechtsen on that second line able to come up with a couple of goals as well. So now to the goaltending. Salo still hasn't quite had that performance that he would love, or that I think sort of proves he's the best goaltender in the world. His first game was pretty good against was it Chicago, I believe? Yes. So 31 shots against, giving up 4 goals for an .871 save percentage. You could tell Salo definitely as the game goes on, he gets stronger, and he looked like that tonight. And so I think he did a good job late in the game coming up with saves and keeping Detroit out of the net, especially when it felt like it was getting tighter before Minnesota was able to spread the lead away from the Trappers here tonight. So now we head over to the visiting Detroit Trappers. 3 2-point getters. We have Helm, Ward, and Toivonen. Helm with 2 goals, and then Ward and Toivonen with 2 assists each. Laakkonen, Thornburg, Ristolainen, and Markov all with assists, and then Roman Horn and Yevgeny Kovalenko with another goal. Kovalenko, although the goal scoring a -2 on the plus-minus, not great. Maybe start asking some questions about K. Ware, especially with the 6 penalty minutes that he gave up tonight. You know, the goal scoring, we'll love that, but we got to be a little more disciplined out there if you're going to be, especially on that top line, because you can't just keep giving opportunities or giving up scoring opportunities there. Oviskadachenko, Kaba, Brock, Jacobson, Tiketovic, Koy, Ignatov, Karolainen, and Martelli all without a point tonight. Karolainen with a +1 out of that group. Everybody else either a minus or a 0. The only other +1s would be Ward, Toivonen, and Horn. And then our hits, Oviskadachenko 7, Kaba 5, Jacobson 6, Tiketovic 4. And now to the goaltending, and I believe this is the third game I've done for Detroit, and this is the third time I'm going to say it. Osip Utkin is too inconsistent of a goalie to be your starter and to be a consistent threat in that America division. So Osip Utkin on 37 shots gives up 7 goals, so 30 saves. He matches. Does he match, or did he have less than Salo? I'm trying to remember. Either way, 7 goals against leads to an .811 save percentage. So Osip Utkin, another tough start here. I really am questioning when Detroit is going to finally go to Anders Falk in net. Looking at Detroit's schedule, they do have a couple of days off, and they will be in Calgary as they head west here from Minnesota up north of the border to Calgary to face the Stallions. So a couple of days off in between there, as Calgary will play Montreal and then come back home for that game against Detroit. So we will see in a couple days if Utkin is in net or if they decide to go to Anders Falk for the first time this season. But so far, Utkin has not been the solution that Detroit was hoping for. So now to the goals for tonight, and it was a big second period that put it away for Minnesota. So that is penalties. My fault. The goals. Nikola and Bure, first 2 off, only about 2 minutes apart to give Minnesota an early 2-0 lead, and then about 3 minutes later, Dayton Helm put Detroit on the board to make it close. And then that second period, like I talked about before we looked. So Cody and then Albrechtsen make it a 4-1 game. Detroit fires back with Horn and Helm to make it a 4-3 game. But then Minnesota, Cody, Albrechtsen, split in between by Yevgeny Kovalenko. And then to the third period with a 2-goal lead, Bronislav Bure puts one away to make it 7-4, and that was basically it. And that was only 5 minutes in to the third period, and it felt like, yep, the game was over at that point. So a disappointing game here from the Trappers. Questions on defense, questions with their goaltending. Minnesota feeling good after their disappointing loss to the Edmonton Dinos. So Minnesota winners here, 7-4, and that is it for our quintuple header. We just have 2 games on the docket tomorrow, so 4 teams playing a back-to-back. Edmonton will now, after losing in Montreal, will head to Ottawa, and Calgary, after knocking off Ottawa, will head to Montreal. So 2 of the top teams in the Canadian division will face off there, see if Calgary, their goal scoring. Honestly, I mean, the way both of those teams have been scoring goals, that game might be 13-12 the way they've been playing, but we'll see. And Edmonton and Ottawa face at the bottom of the Canada division. So we thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed our quintuple header of action here with the PIHANA. Join us again tomorrow night for 2 games, the Edmonton Dinos at the Ottawa Mounties and the Calgary Stallions against the Montreal Mammoths. Thank you again, folks, for joining us. We'll see you next time.